Should we be concerned about this Bills defense?
I think you should be concerned. Like, production that you're getting from Josh Allen and the way that this offense is playing, the fact that they've given up 40 points in back-to-back weeks, and even that Rams performance from Allen, they lost that football game.
So I get it. Giving up 40 points back-to-back weeks is definitely not a good look for the Buffalo Bills. And I think last week we saw Sean McDermott get very hands-on during the game in communication. He seemed much more active in his headset during the Lions game with Bobby Babich upstairs. And in my previous videos, we broke down the statistics here that Bobby Babich is blitzing one of the least and fewest in the NFL when compared to last season under Sean McDermott leading the charge in the defense. McDermott led the NFL in one of the highest blitz rates. So clearly there has been a difference so far in 2024 merging from Sean McDermott to Bobby Babich. Clearly, just looking at the overall blitz rates, it is much, much different.
And it seems like they are so scheme dependent, and that the playmakers that you would have come into the season hoping to be playmakers have had trouble stopping the bleeding when they get in those scenarios. Now,
so this is the other point here is that we brought up in my other videos is that Sean McDermott had to come up with a lot of synthetic blitzes in 2023 due to not having Von Miller and losing Daquan Jones and just the overall effectiveness and lack of talent on the defensive line last year. Now, I know Leonard Floyd was really balling out for the Bills, but we still came up with a lot of synthetic pressures. And another topic we discussed is how that helped players like Ed Oliver coming up with different blitzes and under Sean McDermott having a higher blitz rate. Players like Ed Oliver, you know, when the quarterback is flushed out of the pocket, when you're applying pressure, it makes the quarterback just end up in your arms of opposing people on the defensive line like Ed Oliver. So your stats get inflated slightly because we're applying so much pressure. Now, this year, with us not applying so much pressure, the Buffalo Bills are really relying on the talent of this team. So this comment from Hawk and ESPN really saying that the Buffalo Bills are reliant on schematics. And you go back to last year, Buffalo Bills defense really helped out this Buffalo Bills offense because of all the turnovers and interceptions and fumbles. I mean, the turnover differential in 2023 was absolutely horrible for the Buffalo Bills. Our offense did our defense absolutely no favors. But this year, now with Matt Milano coming back, I mean, Matt Milano has definitely played decent. I'm still waiting for a game-changing play from Matt Milano. He's out there fighting hard, hitting hard, doing everything, and I think it's just a matter of time before that happens. But last week, too, Taylor Rapp not being there, Rasul Douglas not being there, just missing those elements of players that have created game-changing plays during the moments of games during this season. You know, it's absolutely tough. So this really does raise the question here. You know, the Buffalo Bills are 10-2, but knowing that Bobby Babich really hasn't done a lot of synthetic blitzes or blitzes, period, you know, we're really relying on just the front four, relying on our linebackers and overall defense to create plays. Will that need to change down the final stretch, knowing that we gave up 40-plus points in back-to-back weeks?
Luckily, in the AFC, the offenses aren't as big a juggernaut as they're in the NFC, but you're still going to have to see a Ravens football team again who had that same problem against you where they could just run it down your throat. And again,
this has been a problem and a reoccurring problem for the Buffalo Bills, is that occasionally we let up long runs and we allow teams to run it against us. Now, I think that's part of our identity and that's part of our philosophy because really, like, we're there to run up the score. Like Josh Allen in this offense, like, that's really been the goal all along, is for this offense to score points, to run up the score, to be comfortable during games, to be up by 2 or more possessions. And by doing so, you take teams out of running the football. So even if they have a Derrick Henry, even if they have one of the premier NFL running backs in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills being up by 2 or more possessions during a game will ultimately come down to them needing to pass it and them having to get out of the run just simply because time is a huge factor and an element that they're going to have to go against. So I think the Buffalo Bills have the right identity here by playing more towards the pass, versus trying to necessarily stop the run. But I think we are still pretty strong in our run fit. And I know the DNA and character of every player that we've brought in here defensively, it starts with stopping the run. We only bring in players that are fully capable of stopping the run and present dual threat ability at rushing the passer.
This is a bad point in the season for this to be such an issue.
Fact is, the Buffalo Bills have allowed a lot of points the previous couple games, and that it is late in the season for this to be happening. Now, the what question really here is Bobby Babich saving a lot of schematics? Is he saving a lot of his blitz packages for later in the year and come the playoffs? Will Sean McDermott get more hands-on with Bobby Babich, knowing that we've given up so many points? You know, and it's really about complementary football here. Like, the Buffalo Bills defense should not be giving up 40 points to opposing teams. And yes, the Lions were the number one scoring offense in the NFL, and we didn't have Taylor Rapp. We didn't have Rasul Douglas. Matt Milano is still coming back. I mean, he was a year out of football, and I know Matt Milano is going to continue to improve on a week-to-week basis, and he is bringing destruction. I would still be very, very afraid going against Matt Milano. But Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, like Ed Oliver stepping up to the plate last week against the Lions. I mean, if that continues, if that level of play continues for the Buffalo Bills for the rest of the season, we know that this Buffalo Bills defense is definitely going to drastically improve. So once we get Taylor Rapp out there, once we get everyone flying around, Matt Milano, Rasul Douglas, once we get this healthy defense flying around, and I know Sean McDermott knows that we've given up a tremendous amount of points the past few weeks, and I know Sean McDermott, his attention is going to be there, and I think that's another huge element for the Buffalo Bills in 2024. Instead of putting so much on the plate of our head coach and Sean McDermott, you know, Sean McDermott can now allocate his time towards the offense, the defense, the special teams, and really work on making everything complement one another and making sure that the game plan jives on every side and situation within the game. But I truly think the Buffalo Bills, the defense, I mean, we definitely have to keep our eye on it. Giving up that many points is definitely concerning, but I know there are so many things that we could do to improve this. What do you think about this Buffalo Bills defense giving up so many points the past several weeks? Do you think it is a concern this late in the season? Do you think the Buffalo Bills are going to be capable of fixing this? I know this offense has been on fire for the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen putting down one of the most amazing seasons in NFL history as a quarterback. It is just absolutely remarkable to see the lack of turnovers by this offense. James Cook running it, this offensive line. Like, we are just a powerhouse offensively, but it is a concern defensively that we're allowing so many points. Don't forget that Bobby Babich is a first-time defensive coordinator and play caller, and I know that Sean McDermott is definitely going to be helping him out, trying to get this thing figured out for the remaining weeks. And you look at it statistically that Bobby Babich has blitzed some of the least in the NFL this season. Man, if we flip the script on that in the final stretch, you know, teams are not going to be expecting that at all. They're going to be looking at what we did as a whole throughout the season. And maybe Sean McDermott gets much more hands-on defensively throughout the final stretch into the Super Bowl just to make sure that we are sound and not giving up this many points. But players like Matt Milano, Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, you know, even Damar Hamlin, Taylor Rapp, Rasul Douglas, Christian Benford, like, we need to make plays and we need to continue to make plays and do whatever we can to help out this team get the W. But I appreciate you guys all so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe for future content. You guys are making use of the promo code BNC at SeatGeek.com. You guys can get $20 off your next purchase. That's NFL games, that's hockey games, that's concerts, whatever is on SeatGeek. Just use promo code BNC and you'll get $20 off at checkout. Also, you guys are making use of the free shipping at the Buffalo Fan Shop link down below. The Buffalo Chicken Wing merch. We just launched some new designs in black, gray, blue, red, Zumba styles. You guys can get hoodies, long sleeves, t-shirts. It is a great Christmas gift sizes small all the way up to 5XL. So check that out. Get your orders in now so they arrive before Christmas. But I truly appreciate you guys all so much. Hit like, subscribe, and go Bills.